Welcome back to another episode. If you're new here, welcome and thank you for dropping by. Today we are talking about crystal skulls. That's right, the famous 13 skulls prophecy that claims when the ancient skulls are reunited, humanity will receive transformative knowledge or enter a higher state of consciousness. Historians and archaeologists state that the prophecy does not appear in authentic ancient Maya or Aztec traditions. It is tied closely to Victorian fascination with ancient civilizations and later reimagined as powerful spiritual symbols in, yes, New Age culture. This is for you to decide. Hi, Terry.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, Annalisa.
Hello. Well, my friends, welcome to my hyperfixation. I'm the one who brought this subject to light. I don't know why. I had never, ever cared about crystal skulls, ever. And then something happened last year when I suddenly became obsessed with them. And I mean, are they... Let's be honest here. I'm very skeptical about the stories, the lore, the 13, I love learning about that stuff, but I'm not sure what I buy into. But I do have my own quite extensive collection of skulls. No idea why. But I feel energy. I do feel energy off of them. I know that's part of the crystalline structure. I know that's personalities that I may be projecting onto them. I don't know, but I genuinely feel each one has a different kind of personality.
Can you share them with us?
Yes.
Do a little show and tell?
I bought them from different places, so it's not like there's one place necessarily. This guy I got online, probably an auction that I went through, and I just loved his facial expression. This is mica, purple mica.
Mm. He looks like a talker.
He is. Yeah. He looks like a talker. I haven't talked with him. This one is labradorite, and it's not going to show up, unfortunately. It is going to do weird things, though. This looks gray, but when you put light on it, it flashes purples. It's really, really cool. Your lovely clear crystal skull. Almost completely clear. This is a heavier one. Hematite.
I like that one.
Yeah. I like the feeling of it, too. It doesn't matter the size, because this is an itty-bitty amethyst one. Now, I do buy a lot from a company called Skullis in China, and I just love their sculpture work. This one has a story. This one actually has a story. Oh, and then I have my ring.
Oh, what?
You are obsessed.
I'm a little obsessed. Me getting obsessed about something, that never happens. This little gem, I got into the skull thing, and then I was walking around a crystal fair, and I said, all right, if I'm supposed to delve into this or lead me to it, I want to know more about it. I want to meet more of the higher end skulls that are being talked about. Let's see what happens at this crystal fair. That was the intention I set. I started feeling that there was somebody talking to me about it. And I'm like, all right, I don't know who you are, but what's going on? Walked around this whole fair looking for skulls. Couldn't find skulls. Couldn't find one. I was like, that's just weird. I mean, I found one or two, but it wasn't like I was drawn to any of them. I literally did one more round and found an entire stand of skulls.
Oh, wow.
That I walked by the first time around. Oh. Because I was paying attention to one side and didn't see the guy behind me. So I stopped and laughed at myself, of course, because that was pretty silly. And instantly, I wanted to find a very pale lavender one. This is a pale amethyst. I globbed on her and grabbed her and started talking to the guy who was selling them. He said, she's waiting for you because I haven't sold that one. And, she's been around for a long time and haven't sold her. And we started having a conversation about my interest in them. And he's like, well, I have an ancient skull named Omar, and he's sat with the Mitchell-Hedges and all the different ones that are famous. He said, I went to a meeting and put her in front of all of them, or him, Omar, in front of all of them. And they apparently exchange energy that way. That's what it said. I kind of like that idea. So I went with it. And then he said, and the little ones that I sell have sat with Omar, who have sat with all the other ones. So it's like this kind of connective web that they create. So I bought her because I liked her. Again, do I buy into all of this? I don't know. I mean, there's some really incredible stories that I hear from them. People have healings, optical things that happen when light hits them. There's a video online where this constant, purple whiffs of smoke or energy come flying out of this thing, and it doesn't look like it's been tampered with or done. And I don't know, just some stuff is interesting to me. So I'm kind of playing with it. So that's my story.
Well, as you were showing them, the feeling that I got with each one was that it has its own energy and personality.
Yeah.
And that if you were to use them in a reading instead of tarot cards, that each one would give you different or lead you to have different information.
Are you psychic? Because I've done that.
Now, the one that I said was a talker.
Yes.
Literally, that if you were to, my feeling is that if you were to use him in a reading, that more verbal information would come through for you.
Interesting. I do feel it's male. For some reason, I feel genders off of these different crystals.
Yeah, I feel more male energy with that one.
I feel more male energy with this one. The interesting thing is that it's the only one that has like a carved hole. It could be put on a cane or something. Wow. It's very interesting. But yeah, I think you're right. I think that would be an interesting thing to have it. I have sat with a couple of them, not this one particularly, a couple of them doing readings, and I feel an enhancement of information. So, I mean, that's what I've been playing with in doing this at all.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Don't take this the wrong way when I say
this.
No. Because when people say this, people laugh. Does size matter?
No, that's why I brought up the mini one, because size does not matter at all in terms of skulls. I'll just say that. The skull does not matter.
I just didn't know the bigger, the more powerful it is.
No, you'd think that, but apparently not. It doesn't have the same.
Get your mind out of the gutter, Terry.
Sorry. But even this ring, I was wearing this ring for a very long time, like consistently. And in the back is kind of it's a skull, obviously. So you see a little bit of the face in front of it, but it's not super clear that you see straight through it. It's got some waves to it. And it's not inclusions. It's just some sort of waves because of the carving. And I've done some interesting scrying on this tiny ring. So again, also I feel this ring has a personality, and I don't know, maybe my imagination is really good, but it's working. It helps in readings and stuff. So
no, I definitely feel the energy, and coming from my viewpoint, because I'm such a strong believer that everything comes from within.
Yeah.
And that all of our knowledge, we have all knowledge, all universal knowledge within us, that nothing on the outside of us can heal us or do anything to raise our consciousness. We're the ones that are responsible for raising our own consciousness through our own experiences.
I actually believe that's why the placebo effect works. We're believing it.
Yeah. Yes. That being said, I'm feeling quite a bit of energy coming from each of your skulls, and the energy is all different. And that maybe that energy helps with you connecting with that energy. Maybe that energy helps you to facilitate what information needs to come forward for that person. Because what I felt because of the talker, there was also one that was emotional. And so maybe the person you're doing a reading for needs more of emotional energy, more of an emotional connection or information. And so we all work with energy. There's energy all around us, and crystals for sure, because they come from the earth and they have their own vibration, but they can't heal anyone. In my opinion, they can't heal anyone. They can only facilitate someone's own healing.
Agreed.
And that's kind of what I feel I do in readings, because I work on such an emotional level that I facilitate a platform of giving information from loved ones that eventually, and for a lot of people, it creates for them an emotional healing for them.
Absolutely.
I don't know. That's just kind of my...
No, you just put into words what I've never been able to. I think that's exactly what we're doing, at least in me, my experience. I think, I've seen supernatural stuff, and I believe that there's stuff that we can't explain, but a lot of it is just us. It's just from us. And we're more powerful than we think we are. Our brain is more extensive than we think it is. Yeah. So everything's a miracle, if you think about it, in that way. I've been having fun getting to know the different personalities, because I was not expecting that to be part of the process.
Yeah.
It's almost like I'm hearing little groups of people talking, which, taps into my mediumship, which makes me kind of get stronger in that sense.
Yeah.
Which I enjoy learning about.
That's very interesting, because I've never had, I like crystals and different types of rocks and things like that. And I know people that use the crystals and rocks for their healing practices. And I've even had readings where past life information has come through, where someone has been a healer in the past, and they used on one of them that I remember specifically is that what they did was wherever their tribe was, or I don't even know what country it was in, the healer in that person used to put people have them lie down in a stream on top of the rocks. And then he would and he was a male in that lifetime, and would take rocks from the stream and put them on different parts of his body and do healings that way.
That's interesting.
I love that. I have one more little story. When I went to that gentleman at the Crystal Fair and I had a reading with his Omar, it's big skull, it's huge. I didn't know what was going to happen. And I trusted he was a reader, but I didn't think much of the process that we were doing. I went into a meditation and a movie played in my mind. I don't know if it was a past life or it was just my imagination, but I was a little boy and my grandfather was teaching me how to use the skulls. And I mean, it was a literal movie during this little meditation that I was doing. And my sister was my grandmother. My grandmother in this life was my sister in that life. And we were keepers of shamanistic healing, psychic stuff. It was just another another life where I've done this before. And again, my imagination or an actual past life, I don't know. I'm not really strong in the past life field. I don't know. I know some glimpses of past lives, but I don't have a technique or a knowledge of a lot of my past lives.
It feels like an in-between life to me.
Oh, that would make sense. That's cool.
Because I'm not getting anything on a past life, but I'm getting in between physical lives in another dimension.
Awesome. That'd be fun to look at.
Yeah, that's cool.
Look into that more.
Yeah, it wasn't your imagination.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
So you've sold me. Now I have to get my own skull.
Now be drawn to it. Find something that makes you go, "Ooh, I want to take you home."
Yeah.
That's how I do it. Unfortunately, there's a lot I want to take home.
Yeah. All right.
Cool.
So have you guys read about the story or anything? The Mitchell-Hedges one specifically, where she found it. It's a great story. I mean, that poor woman, whether she kept it alive for her own personal reasons or not, it has too many holes in it for me to believe it actually happened the way she
was that the daughter of?
Yeah, the daughter. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then her dad wrote the book, and then he claimed that he had bought it at an auction or something.
Right. He had taken back. Yeah. It was whether he pranked her or as a birthday gift or whether it was real, Well, and there's this guy who was selling, in the 19th century, there was this auctioneer, antique artifact person who was selling these skulls. So they think even the ones in museums were this guy's.
Most of them were from Sotheby's.
Yeah, exactly.
And
auctioned off.
Yeah, and made in Germany.
That poor carver didn't get any kind of recognition. You're in the Smithsonian, you're in French museums, British museums. No, we're gonna call it something else.
One of the things that I thought was when I read about the father writing something completely different in his book was that back in those days, you had the patriarchy was very strong, and he didn't want credit to go to his female daughter, that he wanted to take credit for it.
Here's the other thing. She's not really his biological daughter.
Right. She was his adopted daughter. Yeah.
Yeah. But she stuck to her story the whole time and, traveled the world with it. And I mean, if you look at the actual skull, it's an incredible carving. No matter who did it, it's a beautiful. The mandible is separated, so you can, sit them separately. And people I know who have sat in front of it have said they felt stuff of it, and I don't dispute that. I mean, it's clear crystal.
Mm-hmm. I have a really interesting reaction to amethyst.
Do you? What happens?
Well, I think I have told the story before, but for those of you listening that have not heard the story, when I was living in Florida, my son and I drove up to Georgia to go to a amethyst mine to do some digging. We get there and it's out in the middle of nowhere. They had like a backhoe that had dug a hole in the earth. And then there were people inside the hole and they were just using their own tools to find the amethyst. We jumped in with everybody else and we had our little tools and our little bucket and whatnot. And I start digging and he's digging in one side and I'm digging on the other side. And I started feeling very, very nauseous, like super nauseous. So I'm like, what the heck is going on? So I get out and I go and find a tree to sit under and I started to feel better. So I got up and I went back in the hole and I started feeling nauseous all over again. And I'm going, what in the heck? Maybe I didn't eat enough breakfast, or maybe the sun is too hot, or maybe, I'm trying to come up with all these I couldn't stay in the hole very long. I'd have to keep going out and in and out and in. And I was not going to go home with nothing. So
Right.
he even said, Mom, do you want to just stop? And I said, no, 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 no. Cause he was having a blast. He was only like 12 at the time. And I didn't want to take that away from him. And so we stayed there for several hours with me going in and out and in and out and in and out. And so we grabbed our little bucket and we were all done and we drove all the way home. And the next morning, I kind of just blew it off as maybe I was hungry or something. So the next morning, before he even got up, I went ahead and got our bucket, and I was excited about getting them all cleaned up. And I put them all in the sink, and I was starting to wash them, and the nausea, oh my God, it just like hit me so hard.
Even
and
with a small amount of them.
Huh?
Even with a smaller amount of them.
Yeah.
Like surrounded by them, I can understand, but even a small amount.
Yes.
Wow.
I just felt so sick. I couldn't even clean them. He had to end up cleaning them. I was asking around, friends and whatnot about, what do you think that could be? And I was told that amethyst is very good at removing negative energy.
Mm.
So I think what was happening was it was removing the negativity that was within me, and it was making me sick.
Wow.
Yeah. That was a lot of years ago.
That's incredible.
Yeah, because my son is 30 now. He just turned 30. And so he was about 12 at the time, 11 or 12. So yeah, but when I handle amethyst, and I still have a lot of those amethyst little pieces that we got. Yeah, I still have them, and they're in a box. And when I take them out and hold them, I don't feel nauseous anymore, but I do feel energy from them.
Your energy might not have matched the energy of...
That's what I was thinking. Because I had an experience with this is a different crystal, but it was the same kind of thing where I was like, whoa, this is really intense. And I think it's a matching thing more than you're so filled with negativity that you're being nauseated by this.
Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't that I was filled with so much, but it was that I had some, and it was pulling it out of me. Yeah. But I can hold them now, and it doesn't affect me like that. But I do feel something, but it's not like that. That was the weirdest thing.
Yeah.
I'm allergic to lavender, the herb.
Really?
Which is really frustrating because I love the color so much. So yeah, it's weird when somebody muscle tested me on it too, and my arm went straight down. And it's weird. It's like it's supposed to help you with headaches. It's supposed to do this and that. It gives me a headache. It makes me nauseous. Yeah, it's weird.
Wow. That's my favorite scent is lavender.
I took my then 3-year-old grandson to the museum. It's the Museum
of Science and History.
Yeah.
Cool.
And it was a great place to take him because it was just wide open and he could run around and he could get on all the little things that you can touch and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And before we left, we went into the store and they had a box of stones, smooth, glossy stones. And he wanted some, and they would sell them in these little pouches. You could put as many as you could in this little pouch for $5. And so he picked out all the stones that he wanted, put them in the pouch. We went home. This is a 3-year-old, okay? 3 years old. And we went home, and I had a little box, and I said, why don't we put your stones in the box? And he said, he put his hand over the stones and went like this. And he said, now we need to wash them.
Hello,
I love it.
Old shaman from years ago.
From ancient Egypt.
Oh my God.
That's what he was in ancient Egypt.
Wow.
And when the immersive exhibition came through town, do you know what I'm talking about? It's like they did it for Monet. And it's a total immersion.
Mm-hmm.
So they did one on ancient Egypt, and he was just mesmerized. And he was much older. This was, I don't know, a couple of years ago. So he was maybe 11, probably 11, 10 or 11, just completely mesmerized by everything. And he read everything. He wouldn't pass by any kind of exhibit or anything without reading about it. And so I asked him, because he's just kind of taking it all in. And then we went out and sat down, and he was just kind of staring, and he was watching all of they have like a movie that goes along the walls,
Uh-huh.
and it just goes around in a circle, and he was watching everything and all the symbols and everything and just totally enthralled. And I said, how are you feeling? And, kids, okay. I said, does this feel familiar? Yeah. And then I just dropped it.
Wow.
I let it go. But he was so into it.
That's cool.
Isn't that wild?
And then there was, I went to Ireland for, I think it was a Jungian retreat. Yeah, it was yeah, of course it was. It was from the Jungian Institute in New York. I think that's what you call it. And so we did a week-long retreat kind of thing. And it was funny because it was supposed to be on shame and pride. I think that's what it was, on shame and pride. We barely talked about pride the whole time. We talked about shame.
That's not surprising, actually.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
And so we had our meetings at the Glenstall Abbey. Now, on the property close to the building where we went in for every day for whatever the workshops, there's a cave, a natural cave on the property that's close to the building. And one of the monks had done things on the inside, and he put inlaid symbols on the floor and all kinds of stuff. And I'm in there with pretty much the whole class, and everybody's just walking around, and there was a bench up against the wall. Now it's like the walls of a cave. And I went to sit down on the bench because I was getting so dizzy in there and so nauseous that I had to sit down. And I looked around at everybody, and everybody was fine. Nobody was affected by the energy of the cave. And when I came back, I talked to Abram about it, and he said that is one of the caves that has 110 hertz. That's vibrating at 110 hertz. And he was saying that there are natural caves like that, but there are also caves that ETs way back when kind of infused that energy, that 110 hertz, into the area in caves. So this might have been a natural phenomenon or something else, who knows? But I know that I was affected by the energy inside that cave, and it was so overpowering.
Have you tried connecting to that hertz again in other ways, like a tape that might have sound that run?
Yeah, Tom has done that. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and he's done other meditation tapes for me, or just given me the sound of like 432 hertz.
432?
110 hertz. And with all of them, because my body is not used to feeling that type of energy, that vibration, that it takes me a while to get used to it. On one of the 432 hertz, I had to listen to it maybe a couple of minutes at a time until I could listen to the whole thing.
Oh, wow.
Just so my body could get used to that vibration and that energy.
Sound is very, 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 very powerful.
It is.
Very, very powerful.
It is.
I like to listen to those too, but I don't like the ones that have the music that intertwines with it. I just want to hear. I just want to hear the tone.
Want to hear the tone.
Yes.
Yes. I'm so glad you said that. I thought I was going nuts. I thought, you're being picky.
Oh,
but no, I really would rather just have that sound.
I'm not going to mention any names or the name of this particular kind of whistle, but there were different whistles being sold to help people. The sound of it would help people feel at peace and love, and selling these whistles for, I saw it $50 some places, $98 some other places.
A whistle.
It's in the note of C.
What?
All I have to do is learn
the
music.
Note of C.
Okay.
Go on YouTube to listen to the note C for free.
I can play it on my ukulele. I'll play it on my ukulele. One of my favorite notes.
It's a good note. It's called middle C for a reason.
Yeah, I'll save $100
in the middle of the keyboard. Exactly. Go up an octave, hit it again.
This is what just aggravates me to no end, is all the grifting that goes on.
Exactly.
New age circles.
There's enough misinformation out there. We do not need to be buying into all this.
Don't be so gullible.
Yeah, don't be so gullible.
I like magic stories just like the next person. I really do. And sometimes I really hope they're true. But I'm also thinking,
being a medium and
I'm
all of the
too.
experiences that I've had, I'm truly a realist.
I am so skeptical about so many things.
I piss people off.
Yeah. It's like, how can you be so skeptical? You know, I'm the one that's had the, you know, the ET stuff. And
here I am, a person who claims to talk to the dead, and I'll go on a ghost hunt and go, yeah, that's the refrigerator. That's not a ghost. You know, I'm the one debunking stuff. And I pissed off a friend, and I love him to death, but he was showing me all this different kind of evidence that he got, and he was so excited about it, and I didn't want to say anything because I was like, I'm not hearing or seeing what you're hearing or seeing. I'm just not getting it, you know. And I had to be honest about it, that I'm not saying it's wrong or it's not real or whatever. I'm just saying I'm not getting it. Oh my God, like I burst his balloon.
Aw.
I've been on not many, because I don't need to go on ghost hunts or somewhere to talk to somebody in spirit.
Yeah, no,
because it's energy, and time and distance
doesn't matter,
are not relevant.
You could do it by a picture if you wanted to see a picture.
Yeah, exactly. And I've been with people, it's happened more than once, where they say, oh my God, can you feel the energy over there?
No.
No, I don't.
Did you see that man standing over there? Not feeling anything. Maybe only you're supposed to see him.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm not saying that it's not happening, but I'm not experiencing it. And maybe if you're experiencing it, you're tuned in differently.
Something different, whether it's imagination or that person is meant to see something and me not. But
exactly.
I'm not saying that I'm not feeling it. Sorry.
I was in a hunt with another medium, and I never met her before, and she had gotten a whole story going. This man is telling her about this, and they're doing that, and she created like a narrative, and everyone was sitting around listening to her like, this is the most incredible evidence I've ever heard of. And I'm like, she's a storyteller, and it's great and it's fun, but I'm not at all getting what she's getting. And she went off on how this particular place, and you may know what place it is after I say this, they have tricks inside their cafe. So a bar stool will very, very slowly start moving down. And if you're drunk, probably not going to feel it. But if you're sitting there, you're going to sense stuff. And then all of a sudden, the lights start swaying all together. And it's like, I looked at the bartender, I'm like, what the heck's going on? And he looked at me and goes, oh, you actually noticed that it's not real. I'm like, well, right here, it's not real. I mean, I'm going up and down on the stool. He goes, yeah. And he didn't explain to me what the tricks that they were doing, the hydraulics that they have going on.
That is so cool.
Yeah. I thought it was fun. I didn't hate it. I didn't think it was awful I guess because I didn't buy into it, but I was like, that's pretty smart to get people like kind of into it by doing something physical to them. I love that bar. I know people might be upset by the fact that they use tricks and stuff, but if you go in kind of knowing it, you don't have a problem because it's just fun. If you're going seriously looking for a haunted experience, I think you'll find that too, because I do think it is haunted, but it's not completely what they use is not completely organic, let's say.
The ghost tours that they have in St. Augustine, I went on one when we had company from up north, and I wasn't getting anything that they were saying. Like the graveyard that we went past, I wasn't seeing anything in the graveyard, but I was seeing people walking along the sidewalk from the 1920s.
Oh, wow.
And then I had gone back when we had another visitor. I mean, we were a bed and breakfast for a long time. Not seriously, but bed and breakfast to our friends. They would want to come down to Florida and they would stay with us. And so I went with one of our friends to St. Augustine and went into the lighthouse. And they do ghost tours. You can pay with certain groups to go into the lighthouse. But I think I've mentioned this before. It's not the lighthouse that's haunted, or the spirits don't hang out there. But when we went into the little museum place they have, I was getting all kinds of people in there. And there are spirits in the town that like to take care of the tourists. And so there was a group of 5 of them, and they just like to make sure everybody's having a nice time. And I haven't seen them the last few times that I've been to St. Augustine, but you're not going to find them in typical places sometimes.
Yeah, I think you're right.
and if you go to a graveyard, they're going to show up because you're there.
Exactly. Thank you. For years I've been saying that. I don't go to graveyards. I mean, if you're dead, do you want to hang out at a graveyard? No, you're going to hang out where your people are. I mean, I'm going to Europe. I don't know about you guys. I'm going to haunt something. It's going to be someplace nice.
We got to go together.
Go to Disneyland, the castles. Yeah, I want to go visit some castles. Some luxury hotels, maybe.
All right, so winding our way back to the crystal skulls.
We should change our name from hippie chicks to ADHD chicks.
There you go.
So, doesn't matter the material. Oops, let's get that. It can be any material, whatever you're drawn to. It can be. I've actually seen a person who works with crystal skulls use the glass or acrylic ones also.
Really?
I don't feel anything from them personally. That's just me. I tend to really like something made out of crystal that we perceive as stone kind of stuff. But apparently you can channel with those too.
Well, that just proves that it's you that's doing it. I
agree.
You're just, using that as I don't even know if it
like a point of connection. Yeah.
It's
just focus.
Yeah. It's a focus of connection, and it helps. I mean, it helps to have something to focus on. And if for you it's a skull, or if it's an amorphous crystal, or a crystal that doesn't have a carving, it could be anything.
Tarot cards,
absolutely.
Yeah. Same.
There's enough energy on tarot cards just from global energy of people having been using them for so many years that there's enough to tap into there too.
And Elisa, you do tarot cards too, right?
I do.
That'd be something fun to do.
Yeah, I love them. I love antique cards. So again, with my collection of skulls, I have a collection of antique oracle cards and tarot cards, and they're different vibes. And by vibes, I don't mean like spooky vibes. I mean, literally the card is blunt on some of these oracle decks because they were all about what's going to happen tomorrow. They were not about philosophical things like the tarot can be more philosophical about what you learn, what you engage with.
All right. So the quartz of these supposedly 13 crystal skulls, quartz likely came from Brazil or Madagascar, and the carving style matched techniques used in German lapidary workshops. No crystal skull has ever been discovered during a documented archaeological excavation. And most researchers now believe the famous skulls were produced in the late 1800s in places such as, and please forgive me if I'm mispronouncing this, Idar Oberstein, Germany, a center for quartz carving. I should pull out one of these episodes. I should pull out my magazines, my Life magazines from 1951.
Oh my God, you have those? That's cool.
Yeah, I've got two from around my birthday, and talk about the stuff going on back then.
Right? Exactly. If it wasn't World War I, it was World War II, it was the Depression. I mean, it goes and goes and goes. There's always been something we've had to deal with.
Yeah, we're like cockroaches, though. You can't kill us off.
Wait,
I know we keep multiplying.
We keep multiplying. Apparently, I missed that boat. I missed that ticket.
We're like locusts on the earth.
Yeah.
Swarm in, swarm out.
And
then think of the poor earth, like, are these people ever just going to stop being parasites? Oh my God. like that's the thing I heard about somebody. Like there's a theory that the earth has fallen apart and come back and fallen apart many, many, many times. And it will happen again. And it's always because of the parasitic human race, basically, that keeps doing it. So here we go again.
I think we get off balance and we have to correct that. And this is
I think so too.
This is our correction phase.
I agree. And someone's doing crazy stuff outside. I think the correction phase gets better each time. I think we do learn, maybe not enough as we would like. Maybe we're not as a group leveling up as much as we could, but I do think it does grow.
Humans are not what I was going to say just completely left my head. We're not quick learners.
I do that all the time.
Yeah, we're not quick learners.
No, we're not.
Sometimes we have to go through the same crap over and over again.
Very Goldilocks.
Oh.
And then you have the younger generation coming up behind us who hasn't had our experiences. And so the history that we may have learned from is lost on them.
Yeah.
Not that it's not a dig on them or anything, but their
No, and they're going to create
reality
their own way.
is different than what we've experienced.
Very different.
Yeah.
So maybe this reality still is just a cycle of individuals coming back time and time and time again and learning so they can move on. And everybody has to do that. But when do we collectively learn something?
Well, and that's it. This playground that we're on is apparently one of the harder ones, right? It's kind of the hardest one. There are other dimensions, if you believe what we believe, there's other stuff than just what's here.
Mm-hmm.
And, I keep getting information that we're kind of a sport that they watch. They're watching what we do next and what's happening. And they're on our side cheering. It's not like a blood sport necessarily, although it feels like that. So if that's just one little tiny drop in an ocean of dimensions and experiences, and who knows what else is out there that we've experienced that we just don't remember because we come here because we're trying to learn it without the benefit of knowing there's more.
Yeah. I don't like the word learn. I use the word experience.
Experience is better. You're right.
Yeah. But
it's just experiences that we're supposed to be here for.
Right. And this isn't like a video game. You got to look at it like a video game.
Yeah. I think that too. I went through the process of it's karma, and karma means this. And then I don't believe that anymore. I don't believe it's like you do something screwy here and then you come back and it's done to you. I don't necessarily believe that. I believe that you experience
people have a very skewed idea of karma.
Yeah.
And then there's some people that say karma doesn't even exist anymore. It's like, it's gone. So I don't know.
I didn't grow up with the concept. That concept was newly, I was reading about it as a teenager and it scared me. I'm like, oh, I don't want to be someone who did something bad in the past life and something now bad is going to happen to me because of that. It was one of those things where when you're getting into New Age, when you're learning all these different realities and stuff, that you can get scared off real easily.
Yeah.
To me, the original idea of karma is like, it's the same punishment and reward system that people attribute to God.
Yeah. Again, very limited, restrictive, and quite honestly, not what I believe.
Is that a word we're not supposed to say? God?
I'm just taking my chance, covering my bases.
Like when I blurted out the F word. Which will be taken out in post.
There's so many code words now. I
know.
Unalive,
self-delete.
I Googled the other day, why do the lesser known podcasts, why are we censored so much when some of the larger podcasts can say anything that they want to?
Why is that?
Because of monetary reasons.
Exactly. Sponsorship.
The bigger you are,
the money.
Yep. It's all about money.
Yeah, it always is.
Right.
All right, I'll be good.
I hate this place.
Get me off this planet.
The place sucks. I never should have came here.
Oh, I need to get better at astral projection. Oh,
man.
All right. Well, I gotta go crystal skull shopping.
I've created a monster. I love it. Have fun feeling him. I go into crystal stores and I literally will feel them all. Sure, they look at me crazy. And, also you can choose by material, whatever you like. Like if you absolutely love shungite, get some shungite skulls. If you love amethyst, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
I would think you would need to feel them and touch them first.
Yeah, that's what I think. I haven't been when I purchase them online, obviously, but I've never been disappointed because I think you can also be like, ooh, I zone in on this one. I think that happens.
There's a crystal place that's about an hour from Jacksonville.
Mm.
And they're only online. I can't remember the name of it. I'll have to look it up and maybe put it in the description. And we went there. I took our meetup group.
I was there.
Did you go? Do you remember the name of the place?
Nope. That was a long time ago.
It was a long time ago. And they had us there on a Saturday. They opened their doors on a Saturday. They were so sweet. They were so accommodating and so glad to have us there. And I'm sure we all spent a ton of money there too.
Yes, we did.
I'm sure they were happy even more.
And it was so nice for them to open their doors for the meetup group.
That's cool.
And Tom picked up, it was a big crystal. And when he picked it up and was bringing it toward him. He said there was a shot of energy. He could see the light coming out of it that went right to him. Mm-hmm. Nobody else saw it. Nobody else felt it. But he said there was so much energy coming from that crystal. And it was a big one. And
did you buy it? Did you buy it?
I was going to say, did you buy it?
Oh, no. You know how much that thing was? That was
thousands
like $300 or something.
Only $300? Oh, that's actually not bad.
Well, that was years ago.
Yeah.
But they would go out to Arizona. I think every year they have some kind of, what is it, Terry?
It's the Crystal Fair. Tucson is a major show where everyone from everywhere comes and sells their crystals. And I want to go there. I'm not someone who sells crystals. So, I mean, I don't know if it's worth it for the general public, but I would love to just walk around those stalls. And it's huge. It's not just one place. It's like hotel. It's a very big event every year. The owner would go on these buying trips and he would select them himself. Mm-hmm. And so I trusted everything that they had there. Mm-hmm. I agree. Handpicked. Absolutely. I'll have to try and remember the name.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Because that was a really nice place. Mm-hmm. And they're only online.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
We got to go through all their stuff and just pick out what we wanted. It was really
cool. What a fun meetup that is.
Oh, and they had something to drink for us.
Yeah,
they brought up cookies and snacks. And
they're very nice people.
Yeah, exceptionally.
They made a good little chunk of change on us for sure.
Hey, it was worth it for them, and that was smart of them to do that.
Yeah, and it was good for us too. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So it was win-win.
Nice little road trip.
Yeah,
it was.
Ladies, why don't we live next door to each other?
I know.
Speaking of road trips, we need to do hippie chicks on the run. We need to do.
There you go.
I still want to go to Sedona one day.
Me too. That's what we should do. We should meet someplace cool like that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not this July, but next July. Let's go.
All right. I'm down.
Me too.
You heard it here, folks.
Yep. All right. Anything else?
I don't think so.
Is this a wrap?
Go out and buy skulls. Or not. It's okay.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for helping us build this community. Like, subscribe, share, and leave a comment. We love hearing from you. We love you. We appreciate you. And we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.